giving you an update about the 2020 general election, resources that are available to you, and important dates. We're going to kick it off with those dates, so those are top of mind. Right now, we are in the middle of early voting. That runs through Saturday, October 31st. There are over 200 voting locations throughout the state of New Mexico, and Viante has put that together in a map so you can find one that is most convenient to do for you. In that map, you'll find information on what days of the week they're open and what hours. Not all of them are the same for early voting, but as a reminder, you can only early vote within your county. In fact, you can only vote within your county, and that's including Election Day. We are also in the middle of absentee voting if that's something that you have requested to do. You would have had to make a request for your absentee ballot prior to October 20th. Now, you have to be aware of a few dates in order to make sure your ballot is counted if you're choosing to do it by absentee. You have until Tuesday, October 27th to mail back your ballot if that's what you choose to do. Or you can drop off your ballot at any early voting site or on Election Day. Just make sure that you follow all the instructions on that absentee ballot, which includes certain signatures and putting things in certain envelopes. So in order for your vote to be counted, please follow those instructions very carefully. Get it in the mail before the 27th or drop it off before the Election Day or on the Election Day. Which brings us to, when is Election Day? It is Tuesday, November 3rd, and you can vote between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Across the state of New Mexico, we have over 500 places you can vote on Election Day. So the choice is completely yours. If you want to do early, or if you want to do Election Day, or if you've already made your request for your absentee, no one can tell you which is the right way to vote. This is completely in your court. Again, another plug, you can only vote in the county in which you're registered, but make sure that you make a plan to do so. You know, New Mexico has seen a really great voter turnout so far. This past week, we surpassed 440,000 New Mexicans, either voting by absentee or in the early election booths. This is amazing. We're on track to surpass any other record that we've ever set. But we can blow this out of the water. It takes us making a plan and getting out to vote and voting on people for their character, what they stand for. I would encourage you to look beyond party affiliation and name ID when you're considering who you want to give your vote to, because these are the people who are going to represent you and your families, and you need to make sure that they are the right person. Which leads me right into what I want to share, which is something I've done a few times. I'm going to screen share here the resources that we have curated on Viante's website. If you go to viantenm.org, and then you can see here at the top of your screen, there's a tab called Voting Resources. What I've curated is where to make sure that you're registered to vote, so I have links there, and then deciding how you want to vote. I have all the important information around absentee, early voting, and Election Day. And then we can go a little step further and figure out where you want to go. This is the map I was talking about a little earlier. So if I know that I'm going to vote early in this election, because I have a few commitments on Election Day, and I need to find something that's going to be closest to where I'm at with all the errands and everything I have to do. And so I can click on one of these and it will tell me begins on this day, at this location, it runs from these times. It's really easy. It really makes sense for everyone's busy day throughout the state of New Mexico. I even have one for Election Day, which I'll go over in probably another video, but just to illustrate the point, this is the 500 locations across the state of New Mexico that you can vote, which is incredible. I'm so excited about this. So that's where to vote and when. Now, what you need to vote. There's been questions about, what do I need to bring? Only if you're a first-time voter do you need to bring a physical form of ID. Otherwise, You just have to bring yourself and provide a verbal or written statement of identification, including your name, year of birth, and registered address. We also offer other resources on Viante's website, including our scorecard, where you can look at your state rep and senator to see how they're performing on your behalf. That will help you understand or guide you in figuring out if you want to keep someone in office or you want to try something new. I have links to third-party candidate and issue guides. The League of Women Voters is fantastic. They've curated a lot of content on the candidates that are on your ballot, and that should help you better decide who stands, again, for your morals and character values that are important to you and your community and family. I've also included links for the Albuquerque Journal, Santa Fe New Mexican, and Las Cruces Sun News. I single out these news sources, although all are valid and great to utilize, because these captured a lot of the people in those major metro areas and their surrounding areas. From those sites, you'll find that those publications will give endorsements on who they support and why. But make sure you understand that they each have their own little bias, whether it be a little bit more left-leaning or right-leaning. Read it with an eye that's the angle they're coming at it from, so you can make a better decision for yourself. The number one question I have gotten this election season is, how do I find out about judges? Well, we have this fantastic resource called the Judicial Performance Evaluation Commission, also known as JPEC. Every year they evaluate judges, and I'll show you that screen right now, and they say whether to retain them or do not retain, or they'll say there's insufficient time in office to make a determination. This is a very valuable resource for you to know, should they be there or not. I would also recommend that you Google your judges' names that are on your ballot, so you can see if there was any high-profile cases that they made a ruling on, and if you agree with that ruling or not. Two very simple ways of finding out, is this person the right person for that job? We also have ballot questions, constitutional amendments, and general obligation bonds on your ballots. The constitutional amendments, there are two, and they're very big. So you're going to want to look at what they entail. The Secretary of State has a guide on that. Click on that, and you can go here for arguments for and against each one of those bond questions or the constitutional amendments. I have been reading up on them, and if it's something that you would like to learn more about with perhaps not reading the guide, and that's okay, reach out to me at info@viantenm.org. I'd be happy to talk you through it and help you make a more educated decision. Of course, as with everything I do, it will be unbiased and just giving you the information to make up your own mind. Finally, I have this resource that I've been using for the past 3 years or so called Ballot Ready. It's really remarkable. You can plug in your address. Let me click on that tab here, and it will walk you through every element of your ballot and give you a worksheet at the end if you want to print that off and take it to the voting booth with you. So you're not left making those last-minute decisions in the voting booth. You've already predetermined all of that. And then I have this simple little how to vote in New Mexico explainer video, but I pretty much did that here in this video. But if you have family, friends who are first-time voters, that's a great video for them. I'd also encourage anybody watching this that it's important that you share your knowledge about voting with someone else. Although everybody is afforded that right in the United States who's over 18 and is a citizen, I think there are folks who maybe aren't not 18, that's when you can start voting, and are older in age and haven't voted before. And sometimes they might be embarrassed because of that, and they're afraid to ask. And there's fear in the unknown. So the more that we can break down stigmas around voting and just make it very accessible, the better off we all are, as our entire democracy will work better for us. So that's it. Those were the dates, the resources, a little information about how well New Mexico is doing with our early and absentee voting. You still have the chance to vote. Please share this information with your family and friends, and let me know if you have any questions at all. There is no question too big or too small. Perhaps if it's too big, I'll have to look for the information and get it back to you, but really ask anything, because that's really going to help us be a better society in total, as if you participate with some information and knowledge. With that, thank you so much for tuning in, and happy voting.